Here comes Starblazers. Remember rushing home to catch Starblazers? That epic space battleship blasting across the galaxy to save Earth from alien radiation?
4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
That show wasn't just a space opera. It was an apocalyptic war drama disguised as a cartoon, smuggling death, sacrifice, and existential dread into American living rooms during afternoon snack time today. We're counting down 20 jaw-dropping facts about the show that proved anime could be devastatingly serious.
We've just learned a very important and painful lesson. Without meaning to and not knowing what the result would be, we use too much power.
If you thought you knew everything about the Argo's mission and the wave motion gun,
all the ship's energy is now in the wave motion gun.
Prepare for impact. Commence countdown sequence. 20. The space battleship Yamato transformation. Starblazers wasn't the original title. In Japan, it was Space Battleship Yamato, a direct reference to the legendary World War II battleship sunk in 1945. American distributors knew referencing Japan's most famous warship wouldn't fly with U.S. audiences in 1979, so they renamed it the Argo and scrubbed nearly every Japanese cultural reference. The show's entire emotional foundation, Japan's defeated warship resurrected to save humanity, got completely erased for American syndication. 19. The one-year deadline death clock. The show's central premise was brutally dark. Earth has exactly 1 year before radiation kills everyone, not sometime in the future. 365 days, counting down every episode. Kids watched the calendar tick toward extinction, knowing that if the Argo failed, humanity dies. No other American cartoon operated with that kind of apocalyptic urgency. Every episode was literally life or death, and the show never let you forget the planet was dying while you watched. 18. The censored body count. Starblazers featured constant death. Crew members died in battles, entire ships were destroyed with all hands lost, planets were obliterated. American distributors tried softening the casualties by claiming people evacuated or were injured, but you literally watched characters get vaporized. The dubbing tried hiding death, but the animation showed it clearly. Kids weren't stupid. They knew those pilots weren't coming back from those explosions, regardless of what the narrator claimed. 17. Derek Wildstar's revenge obsession. The protagonist wasn't a cheerful space hero. Derek Wildstar was consumed by vengeance for his dead brother and father.
Fire now! All guns!
His character arc centered on revenge and survivor's guilt, emotions way too mature for Saturday morning cartoons. Wildstar regularly made reckless tactical decisions driven by rage, endangering the mission and crew. The show didn't treat this as heroic. It portrayed his obsession as dangerous and self-destructive, forcing him to overcome it gradually across season 16. Captain Avatar's terminal illness. Captain Avatar commanded the Argo while literally dying from radiation poisoning throughout the entire first season. He knew he was terminal, the crew knew it, and viewers watched him slowly deteriorate episode by episode. When he finally died, it wasn't shock value. It was an inevitable tragedy the show built toward for 26 episodes. For American kids used to immortal cartoon characters, watching a father figure actually succumb to illness was genuinely traumatic. 15. The wave motion gun's moral dilemma. Argo's ultimate weapon could destroy planets with one shot, and the show treated this as morally horrifying, not awesome. Multiple episodes questioned whether possessing such destructive power made humanity as bad as their enemies. Characters debated using it, agonized over casualties, and faced consequences for firing it. Most American cartoons glorified superweapons. Starblazers made planet-killing technology a burden and a curse that corrupted those who wielded it. 14. The Gamelon humanization. The enemy Gamelons weren't faceless monsters. They had families, motivations, and their own tragic circumstances. The show dedicated episodes to Gamelan perspectives, showing them as desperate survivors fighting for their dying world.
It brightens an otherwise dull evening. Now let us all drink a toast to the star forces.
Some Gamelan characters were honorable warriors, others were cruel fanatics. Starblazers refused simple good versus evil narratives, instead presenting war as a complicated tragedy where both sides believed they were right and both sides suffered horrifically. 13. Deathlock's tragic nobility. Leader Deathlock became one of anime's most complex villains, a proud warrior watching his civilization collapse, making increasingly desperate decisions to save his people. The show portrayed him as tragic rather than evil, a leader forced into impossible choices. By series' end, Deathlock earned audience sympathy, despite being responsible for Earth's near extinction. That moral complexity, making viewers understand and even respect the antagonist, was revolutionary for American children's programming in 1979. 12. The Iskandar mission's impossible odds. The Argo had to travel 148,000 light-years in 1 year, physically impossible even at maximum warp. The show acknowledged this repeatedly, with characters calculating they'd arrive too late and Earth would die before they returned. Every episode reinforced the mathematical impossibility of success. The crew weren't confident heroes. They were desperate survivors on a suicide mission with near zero chance of saving anyone. Yet they kept going anyway because the alternative was giving up. 11. Nova's actually competent female character. Unlike most 1970s cartoon women, Nova Forrester wasn't helpless. She served as the ship's radar operator and nurse, competently performing critical duties without needing rescue every episode.
Captain! Dr. Sane, quick!
The show gave her technical expertise and emotional intelligence that often exceeded the male crew's capabilities. Yes, there was romance with Wildstar, but Nova remained professional and essential to mission success. For 1979, having a female character who actually contributed meaningfully was surprisingly progressive. 10. The Bolar War's pointless brutality. The third season introduced the Bolar-Galman War, showing two alien civilizations destroying each other over ancient grudges while Earth got caught in the crossfire. The show explicitly portrayed this conflict as pointless, wasteful, and tragic. Neither side remembered why they were fighting, yet millions kept dying. It was anti-war commentary disguised as space battles, teaching kids that not all conflicts have noble causes or satisfying resolutions. 9. The Comet Empire's fascist imagery. Season 2's antagonists, the Comet Empire, were blatantly designed as space fascists with Nazi-inspired uniforms, authoritarian hierarchy, and conquest ideology. The show didn't hide this. It made the parallels explicit, showing how totalitarian empires crushed individuality and enslaved populations. For a kids' show airing in 1979, using fascist imagery to teach about authoritarianism was bold. Starblazers trusted young audiences to understand political allegory wrapped in laser battles. 8. The Duplicate Earth Mindfuck. Season 3 revealed a duplicate Earth in another dimension, forcing characters to question reality and identity. Were they fighting for the real Earth, or just one version? Did their sacrifices matter if infinite Earths existed? The show explored existential philosophy through sci-fi concepts, making kids grapple with questions about meaning, purpose, and whether individual actions mattered in an infinite universe. That's heavy for breakfast cereal commercial breaks. 7. Sandor's cyborg body. Horror. Sandor wasn't just injured. He was a cyborg with most of his body replaced by machinery after near-fatal wounds. The show occasionally revealed the extent of his mechanical parts, implying he'd suffered catastrophic trauma that required replacing organs and limbs with technology. His existence raised questions about humanity and identity that the show never fully answered. Sandor lived in constant physical reminder of war's cost, a walking monument to survival through sacrifice. 6. the Argo crew's PTSD. Characters exhibited clear post-traumatic stress throughout the series: nightmares, flashbacks, survivor's guilt, emotional breakdowns. The show didn't call it PTSD explicitly, but symptoms were obvious. Crew members struggled with having killed enemies, watched friends die, and carried responsibility for Earth's survival. Starblazers portrayed psychological trauma seriously, showing that heroism had mental health costs that didn't disappear when battles ended. That acknowledgement was incredibly mature for 1979 animation. 5. The Time Travel Paradox Nightmare. Season 3 introduced time travel, immediately creating paradoxes the show couldn't resolve cleanly. Characters met their past/future selves, altered events, and questioned causality. Rather than hand-waving inconsistencies, Starblazers leaned into the confusion, making temporal mechanics a source of genuine tension. The show trusted audiences to handle complex sci-fi concepts without oversimplification, respecting viewers' intelligence even when the plot got genuinely confusing and philosophically troubling. 4. Queen Starsha's Sacrifice. Queen Starsha of Iskandar gave Earth the Cosmo DNA to save humanity, knowing it would destroy her own planet's strategic advantage and leave Iskandar vulnerable. She chose humanity's survival over her people's security, the ultimate altruistic sacrifice. When Iskandar later fell, her decision's consequences became clear. The show didn't treat her sacrifice as purely noble. It acknowledged she doomed her own civilization to save strangers, exploring whether such sacrifice was heroic or foolish. 3. The Radiation Apocalypse Visuals. The show depicted Earth's radiation poisoning in horrifying detail. Dead brown oceans, lifeless cities, survivors living underground in failing shelters, and visible sickness among the desperate population. This wasn't vague future dystopia. It was specific ecological collapse shown in graphic detail. Kids watched Earth dying slowly, seeing familiar continents turned into radioactive wastelands. Those images of environmental catastrophe were genuinely disturbing, teaching lessons about nuclear weapons consequences through visceral science fiction horror. 2. Captain Avatar's Death Scene. When Captain Avatar finally died, the show gave him a full funeral episode with the crew mourning openly. Characters cried, gave eulogies, and processed grief in real time. For American kids, used to characters disappearing between episodes with minimal acknowledgement, watching an extended funeral sequence was shocking. Starblazers treated death with weight and ceremony, teaching young audiences that loss deserved mourning and that heroes don't always survive their missions, no matter how important they are. 1. The show was anti-war propaganda disguised as action. Starblazers' entire narrative was anti-war commentary. Every season showed war's futility, cost, and trauma. Victory never felt triumphant. It felt like survival. The show portrayed both sides' suffering, questioned military authority constantly, and showed how conflict destroyed civilizations indiscriminately. Creator Yoshinobu Nishizaki designed space battleship Yamato specifically to process Japan's World War II trauma and promote pacifism. American kids thought they were watching cool space battles. They were actually absorbing anti-militarist philosophy from a country that had experienced war's horror firsthand and was warning the next generation. From apocalyptic countdowns and radiation horror to anti-war philosophy and existential dread, Starblazers smuggled mature storytelling into kids' programming and traumatized a generation. It proved cartoons could tackle death, sacrifice, and moral complexity without apology. Fire the wave motion gun and remember the mission.